is Health Monday on this July the 9th, 2018, and Jacob joins us this morning from Marble City Pharmacy. And how was your holiday right in the middle of the week?
It throws you off a little bit. I could never figure out last week what day it was.
Yeah.
Nothing felt right, but it was good to have one. We'll always take it.
There you go. We're going to talk about something this morning that I was telling Jacob before the show that happens to me from time to time, and it happens at the most inopportune times, including waking you out of sleep. That is muscle cramps.
We're going to talk about muscle cramps this morning. I was thinking, even as late as midday Friday, I did not have a subject for today. I thought, what in the world are we going to talk about?
You're like a preacher, man.
Exactly. I was waiting for the Spirit to tell me what to talk about today. But I ended up on muscle cramps because multiple times last week, including 3 times on Friday alone, I had people come to me saying, hey, I need some help. I'm waking up in the middle of the night. I'm having muscle cramps. So there's my subject. We're going to talk about muscle cramps today.
So what exactly is a muscle? I know this. It is painful, but what exactly is a muscle cramp?
It's simply this. It's a sudden involuntary muscle contraction. It can last for seconds to minutes, and it hurts immensely. Most commonly, in the lower half of the body, calves, legs, feet, that's where we're shooting normally. And again, it locks up, it holds on, it lasts for seconds to minutes, and it hurts and can leave you sore for even days afterwards.
Yeah. And you mentioned it could happen any time, and I've been awakened out of sleep and have to get up and walk around the camp to try to get and it goes when it wants to. I mean,
oddly enough,
can't fix it.
Yeah, middle of the night is the most common time. Oddly enough, you wake up with them, and it's it's not something you sleep through. You pop up and you are running around the house.
So what causes muscle cramps?
Problem with muscle cramps, when people come in and say, hey, what do I do about this, is there are multiple, completely different causes, although some of them you'll see as we go tie in together. For instance, simple muscle overuse or strain. We get out, we get to a certain age, we think we can do more than we probably ought to be doing. We get out, we do more work than we're accustomed to doing. We're not prepped for it ahead of time. Something we probably shouldn't be doing in the first place sometimes, or just stuff we need to do and get done. We get out and we work and we overuse those muscles, and we think we're fine. We go to sleep, wake up in the middle of the night, got a cramp. And so that's one of the most common uses, just simple muscle overuse. Another one, dehydration. It's July. It's 100 degrees outside, heat index. It's been raining, so your grass is as tall as you are. You got to get out there, you got to cut it. The weeds are tall. You got stuff you got to do. So we're back into that first category of muscle overuse, things we're not used to doing or doing more than we're used to doing. And then we get out there and we're hot and we're sweating and we dehydrate. To keep your muscles flowing normally and not locking up, you got to have enough fluid in your system. You sweat it out, you don't drink enough to replace it, here come the muscle cramps. So those first two, they kind of go together. Then you add another one, mineral depletion, potassium, magnesium, calcium, things that come out some in your sweat. We also don't get enough of it in our diet. So all these things are going together. We're losing sodium, we're losing chloride, that's in our sweat. We're losing potassium, calcium, magnesium, some in our sweat, some not getting enough in our diet. We're overworking, we're outside, it's hot, we're not drinking enough, we're not getting electrolytes, we're not eating right because we're working hard. All those things playing together, more muscle cramps. There are other things that go into it as well. The bugaboo that everybody's always thinking, medications. Do my medicines cause muscle cramps? Well, possibly so. For instance, you take diuretics, water pills, make you urinate. Well, guess what? When you urinate, all those same things you sweat out are coming out in your urine. You're urinating more. You're depleting fluid. You need to replenish that. Cholesterol medicines. I bet more than half of the people watching right now are on a cholesterol medication. I'm on one. Those medicines can naturally deplete an enzyme we all have in our body all the time that helps our muscles work properly. You take a cholesterol medicine, you have less of this enzyme, more likely to have muscle cramps. And then last, a couple of things that are more serious, less common. We're going to use big. Are you ready for our words of the day, everybody? All right, the first one, big word. Arteriosclerosis of the extremities. I've been working on that for weeks now.
I bet you have.
All right. It's a lack of blood supply to the extremities, to the legs and feet, particularly in this case. It happens when your arteries get hardened and narrowed by fats, cholesterols, plaques, those things, when we're not so healthy, right? We get less blood flow to the legs. Same concept as not having enough of these electrolytes and minerals. You're going to get cramps. Again, less serious to have it there than to have it in your heart, where you're going to have clots and heart attacks and strokes and everything else. But can happen in your legs and feet as well. Leads to cramps and many other issues. And then last, here's another one, lumbar stenosis. Write that one down. Lumbar stenosis. It's nerve compression. Starts in your back. It's a back problem. But as your spine compresses, hits those nerves that run down into your feet, the pain you get and the cramps you get are in your legs and feet, even though it's a back problem to begin with. And so those are the most common causes. And sadly, there are others. There's a million different causes of cramps. Those are just the most common ones.
Now, you talk about, the legs and the back and all that kind of stuff. Why lower extremities?
Why lower extremities? All right, if you picture, picture an upside down tree. The branch, the biggest branch, the trunk, is coming out of your back, going down and branching out like a tree. Nerve systems all the way throughout your body. So there's little branches as you go down. Big trunks coming out of your spine. So as you get back trouble and compression and everything else in the spine, the problems that you experience are running down those nerves all the way to the end of those nerves, which again, the end of those nerve branches are hands, feet, arms, legs. And so that's where you're feeling the pain, although it's all starting centrally here in your back.
So what are some of the common treatments for it and medications maybe?
So what we get is people come in the store, hey, I need a pharmacist, I need some help. We'll go out there, hey, what can I do for you? I'm waking up at night with cramps. It's happening for X number of days or weeks. It's happening this often. Okay, well, we've gone over, 7 causes of cramps. I can't really tell you what to do unless I have an idea of what's going on. So you come in and tell me you're having cramps at night, you're going to have to spend a few minutes with me, unfortunately, because we're going to try to find out why. For instance, if you say, well, I've been, like we talked about earlier, I've been out cutting the grass. It got hotter. I've had to do it more often. I've had to weed more often. I'm doing a lot more work. We're putting a new roof on my house. I just took a construction job, whatever. Okay, then I think I got an idea. It's overwork. It's dehydration. Those things, I can put that together. You come in for that. I'm going to tell you a couple of things. Well, the overwork, I'm going to tell you, try not to overdo based on your age as best you can within reason. I'm going to tell you to try to stretch before activity to get loose as best as possible. And I'm going to tell you to make sure to hydrate. Of course, that goes for the dehydration problem as well. You need to hydrate. Lots of water, lots of water, lots of water. Electrolyte solutions, Gatorade, Powerade, those things. Not the healthiest drinks in the world, especially if you're diabetic, got a lot of sugar in them. But at some point, you have to drink something like that to get some of that stuff back in your system. That mineral depletion that comes with that, well, there's not a person watching this right now, I would dare say, that eats what we would really call a balanced diet. We just don't anymore. We need to. We all need to. I need to. You need to. They need to. We don't. Processed foods, fast foods, frozen foods, all those things we eat because they're convenient and we're busy and we're running and it's easier. Those things have been so depleted of the minerals that naturally come in those food. The vitamins that we would naturally get out of that food have been so processed out by the point it gets to us at that point, we're not getting any. And so, so what do? Well, you eat a more balanced diet. You eat more fresh foods, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. But even then, our farming has been done so well and so aggressively over decades, our soil doesn't even have as much magnesium, calcium, potassium as it used to. And so we don't get a lot of that. So honestly, the answer to that, and of course, you're going to get this from a pharmacist that has pills in his store. We can replenish those with potassium pills or sodium pills or magnesium or calcium. We can take medicines to replenish that because we're really not getting it in a diet. But I want to ask you what medicines you take if you come in with cramps. Well, are you on a diuretic? Okay, we may need to take some potassium or magnesium or something because you're urinating it out. Are you on a cholesterol medicine? Well, I'm going to get you this enzyme, this CoQ10, to replenish what you're losing. I take it myself because I'm on a statin drug, a cholesterol drug. And if I don't take this, I'm more likely to end up with cramps. I take it myself. If you come in and you've told me you got some back, I had a lady, one of the 3 people came in Friday. Hey, what's going on with your cramps? Well, I'm due for back surgery next month. I'll be real honest with you, ma'am. There's not a lot I can do as a farmer. There's not a vitamin over here. There's not something. Those people, most of what you need is prescriptive, nerve medicines for that nerve pain, muscle relaxers, even anti-inflammatories, steroids, things you got to go to a doctor. I actually had to send her to a doctor. Hey, I'm sorry, I can't help you. At least not here today. Come back to me after you've seen your doctor. Those types of things. If it's the narrowing of the arteries because of the fats and cholesterol and things like that, well, it's go to the doctor. But lose weight, exercise, take cholesterol medicine, stop smoking. Those things all narrow the arteries. So again, if you come into me with cramps, you're going to have to sit with me for a couple of minutes because we're going to find out why. I'm not just going to sell you something off the shelf and tell you, hey, your cramps are going to go away. No, I need to know why because there's so many different causes.
Yeah. Quickly this morning, I guess it's safe to guess that the older you get, the more issues you may have in this arena.
Absolutely. It's rare for a 30-year-old to come into a muscle cramps. And when they do, it's always the dehydration factor. It's never something else. It's dehydration. But yeah, it's mostly, 60 and up because as we get older, we lose muscle mass anyway. We just naturally lose muscle mass. So we're more prone to overwork and dehydrating that what muscle we have left and things like that. We're more likely to have hardening of the arteries. We're more likely to have back problems. We're more likely to take cholesterol medicines or diuretics. Everything on this list is more common in elderly.
Wow. Jacob Johnson, our guest this morning on Health Monday. And finally, today, they're a pharmacy, Marble City Pharmacy right here in Sylacauga. It's been a family-owned business for years and years. And I noticed you talked about the education process. From the outside looking in for pharmacists all over the country, you think, well, I'll go there to get a pill. I'll go there to get a pill to help me with this, that, or the other. But many times it's education, trying to find out which direction we need to go before we do anything.
And honestly, that's what we're trained for. Why do we go to school for so long to, as Jerry Seinfeld always puts it in his stand-up, take pills from a big bottle and put them in a little bottle, right? There's so much more involved in that. And so, as a good pharmacist, one who cares, I'm not there to sell you a pill. That's not why I'm there at all. I'm there to educate you about your health, about your condition, about what this medicine will do, why you might want it, why you might not want it. I, as often as not, tell someone not to buy something. As I do, they come in, hey, I need this medicine for my cramps. No, actually you don't. Let's talk about it for a minute. And so we're there to educate. I mean, we enjoy that. I like educating. Educating is actually more fun than putting pills from a big bottle into a little bottle. Talking to people is more enjoyable. So yeah, we answer questions. Come see us. We like to talk about things with you.
All right. If you're suffering from muscle cramps or know someone who is, get them to Marble City Pharmacy and get them to help you either talk to Jacob or Jared or another one of the pharmacists there, and they can hopefully get you straightened out. Always a pleasure, sir. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Jim.
More Daybreak right after this.